pool days are over and my drinking days are starting.
All right, mate. Let's get in here. All right. Loud and clear. Well, how you doing, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing well. I'm a little tired. Burnt.
Burnt to a crisp?
Tired, but good, yeah.
Tired but good? Okay, I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit.
How about you?
So far, so wet. Can't really complain. Even if I did, nobody would want to listen.
Well, shit. That's what we're here for, right?
Yes. So, what's up, guys? It's your boy, LOONAR. You know, we're back. Another episode. I got my boy, Colbs here. Just survived Bonnaroo. Went through how many days?
4 days?
4 days of straight up carnage at Bonnaroo. Said he saw a lot of tits. Lots of tits out there tonight.
Yeah,
huh?
there's, to quote the great LOONAR, cheeks for weeks. And yeah, there was some tittage out and about.
Cheeks for weeks, baby.
Yeah.
See, that's, I mean, when you say that, it sounds good to me.
But, I say that, yes, there were like ass and titties everywhere,
Right.
whatever. But it really comes from, and part of why I like Bonnaroo versus other like camping festivals that you can go to.
Yeah.
It's all about positivity, like just being you, being comfortable, doing what you do. Like it's not like a weird thing. Like people aren't like, oh my God, dude, you see your fucking titties? It's not like that.
Because you don't want to be a creep. You don't want to
Yeah.
be like staring at girls' tits or following them. I'm sure there's guys that do that,
Yeah.
but don't be that guy.
Probably, yeah. And if they do, it's like very minimal. And the Bonnaroo community is very big about like, if you see something, say something. Like, don't let anybody be uncomfortable. Like everybody checks on everybody. Their motto or whatever is radiate positivity. And honestly,
I didn't even know they had that kind of thing there. I thought it was just more or less. I thought Bonnaroo, just like Coachella, is just kind of like just hippie shit. People smoking weed, tenting up.
So Coachella is like huge glam style Bonnaroo. So
that's where they do all the crazy dress up stuff. Coachella, right?
Because
Okay.
it's in California. It's like late spring. It's a handful weekend. Like it's built to be a fashion show. That's not going to get above like 85, 90 degrees. I don't know. Fact check me if you want or whatever.
You're
or
probably
people
right.
that have been there, but a lot more attainable. At Bonnaroo, you're camping in a field for 4 days, and it's going to be 105 every single day you're there, and it's going to get to like the 60s at night. So
That's ridiculous.
you're not going to have a good time if you're trying to be like crazy dressed up. Now,
Right.
you'll see the people that do like VIP and all this stuff, which that's a whole other
Isn't that like
thing.
thousands of dollars? Though?
Yeah, it's a whole other thing in and of itself. And sure, they'll walk out because they did just take a fresh cold shower, But
They got showers over there on the VIP side?
yeah, they do in GA as well, but
What?
you have to pay like $10 to use it.
Wait, is it because you're not allowed to go off the grounds? Like you have to stay there?
You can go off the grounds.
Okay.
It's a pain in the fucking ass though.
Okay, because you got to leave, you got to come back in.
Yeah.
But most people like shower there.
Yeah.
You pay $10 and you can shower there.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad.
What I normally do though, I'll shower on day like 3, and then like if we stay till Monday to come home, shower like Sunday night before like the main headliner or early Monday morning.
Mhm.
But outside of that, I mean, we bring just a metric shit ton of water, and so like I do a little whore bath
Right.
at the
Did you bring a camelback?
at the campsite. Yeah,
Like one of those, like you wear it and you can just.
yeah.
Are you drinking beer? I feel like you can
So
get dehydrated out there if you drink too much beer.
I like to drink beer because I've got like a full like camping setup. So I like to drink beer out there like while I'm cooking breakfast.
Okay.
I'll have like 2 beers or
How are
so.
you cooking? Did you bring like a grill?
Camp stove, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Like a propane like Coleman camp stove.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
You're about it. Like you're.
I
almost-
fucking love camping. My buddy Josh was really the motivation for that. And a couple other friends. We got Will hooked in on it now. And yeah, camping is a lot of fun. And the more I do it, the more I love it.
So you have like a tent. You have like a little Coleman. Is it the propane like? And you have like a little. Do you have a little stove or thingy or like a?
Well, I just
pot?
use like I've got a whole like cooking set. I got utensils.
Did you buy it as a set or did
pots,
you like?
pans?
Damn. So you're like fully tactical.
Yeah.
Like you could You could stay out there and be, as long as you have the food there with you in
Yeah.
a cooler, you're like,
I'm good.
wow, I didn't know you were.
We actually ate like really well,
Oh, really?
extremely
What
well.
kind of stuff did you bring?
So one thing, because they're also, don't leave anything behind. You want to leave the land as in as good a shape as it was when you
Leave
showed
it
up.
as it looked when you got there.
Yeah. I forget. There's actually like a phrase for that, but yeah. So prior to, I fried bacon, so that I don't have to dispose of grease on the campsite or anything like that. Fried a handful of hamburgers. I cooked pizzas beforehand as well.
So you bring them just like in a Ziploc bag?
Yeah, Ziploc bag.
Oh, okay. And then heat them up when you get there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bet.
And so, like, for breakfast, day one, made coffee. I've got a little pour over coffee set up that I can make right there on my stove. So made coffee, and then we had breakfast burritos. So we did like brown tortillas. We did bacon, which I heated up, tossed it on there, melted cheese on it.
Right.
Really super cheesy eggs, which are super easy. Just
you just
cook them up,
slosh them around,
cooking them up on a plate.
Yeah,
two dudes, great. But and then I always bring a thing of mixed greens.
Like collard greens?
No, just like mixed like spinach and whatever other shit, arugula, whatever other stuff comes in it. Throw that on there just to have some greens with it as well. And then my all-time favorite camping spice is paprika.
Paprika, really? I've always thought paprika doesn't taste like anything.
It's got a little bit of salt. It's got a little bit of spice. It's just enough to know like there's seasoning
something
there.
on it.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair. I've never had paprika by itself. I've always heard it was just for like color.
Oh, dude. One of my favorite
flavor.
camping dishes to eat, and Will Berenson got me into this, is fresh radish smeared in like warm butter with like, you grab you a little pinch of mixed greens, that with some paprika on it, and just eat that bitch.
Wet?
The wettest. It looks like.
So Will put you onto that?
They just opened Hoover Dam, like
the
water's flowing. Yeah, Will put me onto that. I forgot my radishes this time around though, so I was pretty bummed about that.
That happens.
But yeah, so we ate like these dank ass breakfast burritos day one. Second day we had breakfast burgers, kind of the same thing, but just with a breakfast, like a hamburger patty. And brought some chips and salsa and shit like that too.
That's a damn bit. Jelly Karma, thanks for the follow. So I'm glad some of you guys jumped in. Me and Colby were just talking about Bonnaroo, who's out this weekend. I'll do an official intro. It's your boy Loonar. We're at the Lunar Lounge podcast. I got my man Colby Charles. Cheers. Got my man Colby Charles back on. We're both off work today, celebrating Juneteenth. Shout out to everybody on that end. But hope you guys are having a great start to your day. This is a Lunar Lounge podcast where you laugh, cry, maybe even, what's the other one? I can't even remember. I had an intro written out, but I forgot it. Laugh, cry, and maybe even think. Laugh, think, and maybe even cry, allegedly. But seriously, I'm just kidding, but seriously. But me and Colby are just going to be sitting here today. We don't really have a plan of what we're talking about. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, do you have anything in the media that you're seeing, pop culture, anything on Twitter? There's a couple things I'll probably bring up just from shit I've seen today. But other than that, we're just going to try to shoot the shit. Now, going back to Bonnaroo, did you see anything crazy?
So actually, I'm the type of person, like, I want to see the crazy shit.
Like fighting or something.
I want to see some wild stuff. The thing is, at Bonnaroo, like, you probably won't see a fight.
People don't go there to fight.
Unless it's, like, at the campgrounds. Like, that's where some throw shit will happen. So there's a separate
area for the stage, and then the campgrounds is, like, a 20-minute walk away?
So they call it, like, Centeroo. 20 if you're lucky. Centeroo is where, like, all the main, like, stages are and everything. And granted, this is like a multi-thousand acre farm.
Oh, farm.
It's huge.
Where's Bonnaroo, Tennessee?
Manchester, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
It's massive.
It's about why you're in Tennessee.
It's like 12-hour drive from Dallas, where we're
you
where
and Danny drove.
Yeah. Well, I drove to Paris. We loaded up Danny's FJ Cruiser, which is
those things are awesome,
perfect for this kind of thing.
Literally.
We literally had ample room to spare. Like, we could have.
Did y'all lay a bed out and everything in there?
Do what?
Did you like have a tent, or did you lay it out?
We did like a tent and then like a canopy thing, which we forgot the canopy cover. That's our one rookie move that we made for year 3.
Because those FJ Cruisers, you can like damn near camp in that.
And he's got a little storage unit on top.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Like mounted on the rack. So yeah, we could have fit 2 more people and all their gear in there too.
Damn.
FJ Cruisers are amazing. I don't know why they stopped making them. There probably is a reason why. If anybody hits,
they probably got recalled or something on some technology. Did you meet any chicas out there? You saw some cheats. Any chicas?
So
it's hard to
I don't go to these types of things for that. you know, if something were to happen, I mean,
Organically,
sure,
like if
whatever.
you see a girl, you're like, oh shit.
But the thing with that, like, I truly go for the music. Like,
Right.
I'm focused on seeing people that I either have mad respect for, that I jam their shit routinely, or that like would just be really cool. Or like one of my friends, like for instance, there's this band called Coin that my sister recently got me into. Turns out they were one of the like midday headliners, like day 3, which that was dope,
Oh yeah.
and nobody really knows about them. So I got to get pretty close to the stage. That was
You
pretty
watch
sick.
Coin. Who were some of the big artists that you saw there?
Oh man, the list is fucking legendary.
Really?
Stevie Nicks.
Oh damn.
She was the first female final headliner
Of the whole.
of the entire history of the festival, and it's been going like 20 something years. She was the first female
headliner.
final headliner, like the
last artist that
last headliner to play the whole weekend.
Oof.
Which is usually, it's a big fucking deal, right?
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they've had like Dead and Company, they've had Stevie Nicks. Who the hell was the first
Is
one?
it a lot of hip hop? Is it a lot of dance? Is it a lot of like bands?
You name it.
Oh, so it's everything. You
Like,
go to
literally,
different stages and see
There's
whatever you want.
bluegrass, hip hop, like the subgenres of hip hop, pop music, EDM, like all over the place. I saw J. Cole.
Oh shit! That was tight.
Wow.
Yeah, J. Cole's insane.
That's my second time to see him at Bonnaroo. The first time I saw him was my first year to go. He played a smaller stage, still one of the main stages, but a smaller one. This time he played the main stage. I think he was the main headliner on like night 2 or so, like that. I almost cried. The dude is so passionate about hip hop.
So good.
And he just like, as you could tell when some people are using like backing tracks or like they're using cues in the music and stuff like that, you could tell he was like going against whatever was playing in his ear, because he kept telling him like, turn that shit down.
Really?
You know, he was telling sound tech on the side like, turn that shit down. Like, I'm trying to rap.
Right.
Like, you know, and
they probably had the vocals split with the track and then they put them together.
Yeah, and he was like,
sense.
I'm trying to rap, bro. Turn that shit down. And he just, fuck, dude, it was so awe-inspiring. Honestly, it was amazing.
I believe it. Who else was dope?
So night 1 when I got there, I was with Danny. Danny we're into like slightly different music, but we're old school homies. For people who don't know, Danny Tejas on Instagram. He's one of our old homies from college, fraternity brother, good friend.
I went to high school with the kid.
He was my roommate for a little while.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, my last year of college. Yeah, super solid dude. Fucking hilarious. We laughed so hard in a few different spots. I'll tell you some Danny stories in a little bit. But so night 1, I just popped out and was like, I'm going to hit as many shows as I can. So saw Claude, who she's just like kind of sad girl music, a little poppy to it, real fucking vibey. It'll put you in a good mood, but if you read the lyrics, you'll be like, damn. And she like, and I'm probably some fringe wrong on this. I think she used to be in the bleachers, or she did something with Jack Antonoff back in the day. There's some kind of tie there. Now she's doing her own thing, and it was incredible. I just happened to be where Griffin was playing. Griffin, he's like a huge EDM artist.
Oh, okay.
He was the main headliner for Thursday night.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never heard of
the first. If you're into EDM and you want something like new just to check out, he's the staple of the genre.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll have to check that out then.
Fun fact: my first EDM show that I ever went to was with Tanner and Chase, a couple of our old homies.
Yeah.
And it was Griffin. Someone else opened, Griffin, and then Rez. Which Rez is this like
Rez goes hard,
cute, foxy little Canadian girl that's like, she's very caring about her crowds and everything. She's like, take care of each other, drink water, like all this stuff. They call her like Space Mom on Twitter and shit like that. She actually writes a lot of scores and stuff for video games too, like on a total random side note. Yeah.
That's super tight.
But that was my first real EDM show, and we did EDM things. So like those bands are like ingrained in my mind forever. Right. So I saw Griffin and I was like, fuck. All these feelings came back. Then fast forward like 2 nights later, we got to watch Rez play as well. So that was sick.
I hit. You were there for what, 4 days? 3 to 4 days?
Showed up Thursday. We got there like around 5, and we left midnight Monday morning.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're there for a good amount of time then. Do you
Yeah.
not get burnt out going that long? I feel like that's a pretty long time to be
It's
outside sweating it out.
it's in my
That's like
that is my cutoff.
right. That makes sense.
The
It seems like going more would fucking kill you.
The first act we saw though, and A, got to rep Texas. B, I don't like a lot of country music, but I love this motherfucker. Paul Coffin.
Never heard of
He's from Tyler, Texas. This guy is like if Cash could have held his shit together when he was on coke.
it. He was a wild card. I got to pause you for a second. Baby Batter Splatter said, "Nice, you have your buzzed cut Woody Harrelson friend on." Why y'all trying to roast my man Colby over here? He doesn't look like Woody Harrelson.
Hey, I'll take it, dude.
Really?
Woody Harrelson, he's got the bag.
He does have the
He's
bag.
famous. He's very active and proactive for hemp and products of hemp and cannabis as an industry.
He's a vegan too.
He's vegan.
He only drinks like liquids. I don't even think
He takes like super good care of himself. When has anybody heard any sexual assault allegations or anything like that?
That's very true. You know who I got compared to the other day? Somebody called me Jordan Klepper. You know who that is?
No.
He's the big-headed dude that goes to like the MAGA like events, and he asks some stupid ass questions like, "Are you pro-choice or pro-life?" It's like, "Well, I'm pro-life." It's like, "Well, did you choose to get the vaccine?" "No, I didn't get the vaccine because it's my choice." "So shouldn't you be pro-choice?" Like, "No, I'm pro-life."
Oh,
you know, and he catches.
I need to look that up.
Yeah, so like here, I'll pull up a picture of him. So somebody, I was like on a demo at work, and they're like, "Oh my god, you look like Jordan Klepper," and I was like, "Thanks," because he has a big ass forehead.
Oh, dude, no shame in the game.
No shame in the game. Hey,
I'll
foreheads unite.
I'll take Woody Harrelson though. That's a first for me.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
This is him, dude. He is not. This ain't nothing to. That's him. She said I look like Jordan Klepper, dude.
Dude, you're honestly like.
I look better than that, right?
You got a more square jaw on you.
Doesn't he look like Earthworm Jim?
You
know who Earthworm Jim is?
Yeah. Yeah,
Let me pull it up for the people that don't.
In a weird way, he really does.
Let me pull up Earthworm Jim. That's what he looks like to me, bro.
Like, if the little squiggle on the top of his head was the hair, then yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Great cartoon. We talked about cartoons last time.
Did you ever play the video game?
No, dude, I'm not a gamer.
Oh yeah, you don't game.
No, I got really super weird hooked on Devil May Cry 2 for PlayStation 2 back in the day.
I never played Devil May Cry. What was it about? You don't even know?
It's like
it's one of those slash 'em up, kill 'em games.
Yeah, you go around in like this creepy village and just do missions and like.
Why don't you think you don't play video games?
You know, and I've thought about this too.
Because a lot of guys love them.
We've talked about like me going to college and my transition and like figuring out how to make friends and be social and all this stuff. I feel like that is one thing early on that was in a way a detriment to me. And I've talked to a couple of people about this. I was just never good at it, so it never interested me.
That makes a lot of sense.
You know, I want to do shit that I'm good at.
Yeah.
Like I can go outside and ride a bike. Like I'm thinking like as a little kid, like I can go
kickball
ride a bike. I could play football, kickball. Like I'm gonna go practice throwing a football. Like 100 million other things that I could do. And then like I tried periodically, and like my brother growing up, he was really into WoW and like Halo, or not Halo. Shit, I can't remember the games now.
Call of Duty?
No.
Counter-Strike? Was it a multiplayer game?
He does like what's it called? It's something with a snake in it, like twin snakes or dual snakes or something like that.
What's the game he's talking about?
It's got to be something like that.
No, you're talking. It's the guy. His name is Snake. It's like Snake is his name.
I want to say
what is that game, dude?
And like Elder Scrolls and shit like that. He does the nerd stuff. You know?
That's super nerd.
Yeah. My
Real
buddy,
pros, thank you.
My buddy Will, that was like the first 2 years of our friendship, was sitting on his family couch in the family room and watching him play fucking Elder Scrolls.
Metal Gear Solid. That was the game.
That's
Snake.
the one. Yes.
That game's fun.
Okay. Yeah. So
Metal Gear Solid.
I tried to play that. My brother was always super nice and would like let me take turns when he would get like pissed off at the game and like need a moment. Mm-hmm. My brother's like the nicest person in the world. So like thinking about him getting mad is like really entertaining to me right now. But yeah, he would let me try, and I would just be like, "Fuck this,
dude!" I got a crazy story. So, did you ever do LAN parties when you were a kid?
land parties where you just go out in like a pasture and fucking.
No, not a land. That's like, well, yes, I did land parties, but like pasture parties were different. A land party, I don't know what land stands for, but I think it's like live action network or something like that, or
Yeah.
local area network is what it stands for. LAN means local area network. And so basically you can plug up 4 Xboxes and you can have 4 players on each Xbox and you have a 16 player match, right?
Yeah.
You can have 8 on 8, you can have 4 teams of 4, whatever you want to be. So Halo, we would do that. So for my 16th birthday, I had 15 kids over plus me. So I have 15 boys in my house. We have a TV in like each room, 2 in the living room, 1 in my room, 1 in our guest room. My mom's there just like fending for herself. My mom's, shout out to you, Mom. You're a fucking writer for
Clay
this.
Cole's a badass.
Yes. So I have all these guys at my house. As soon as we get there, I'll go back a little bit. 16th birthday, I have 15 other guys over. We're doing a LAN party at my house. Got everything plugged up. We get everybody ready, and then I say, all right, guys, we're going to have a meeting just to kind of set the day up and the night up because we're pulling an all-nighter. I'm like,
Yeah.
We're going to set the night up. Here's the rules. First person that goes to sleep is going to get my pubes that I shaved off last night in their mouth. This was when Jackass was at its peak.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to do
Absolutely.
this. So we're playing for a while. We're going through kind of having like a little tourney or whatever, and then the first kid goes to sleep. I get my camcorder out. I won't blast this kid's
And
name.
it's a straight up camcorder. at this
Camcorder,
point, too.
old school. I won't say his name because I know it scarred him because he ended up hitting me on Facebook later, which I'll get into. So he falls asleep, and like I'm like, everybody, let's get him. Get these pubes. He's like, sleep like this, pull his mouth open, put the pubes in his mouth, and we're recording him. And everybody starts just laughing. And he wakes up. We're all in his face, and he has pubes all in his mouth. Can you think about how mad you would be and how humiliating that would be at the age of 16? I may have been 14, actually.
You know.
No, I was 16. I was 16. Yes. What's up, Atterbury? I'm not saying names. Okay, then look at your face. Fast forward until like I'm in college, so like 2000 and I'm just gonna say 2011, 2012. I'd been in college 2 or 3 years. He hits me up on Facebook one time, and he's like, "Hey, I remember what you did in." Actually, I was 14. I remember what you did in 7th grade. That ruined my life. Fuck you. Look at where I'm at now and look at where you are. And he was like at UT and I was at A&M Commerce, and he thought that was some like dig at me. Shout out to my man. Isn't that fucking crazy? Put my pubes in his mouth, dude. Would you have hated me if I did that to you?
So, no.
Oh, that's
wouldn't
brutal, though.
I had to.
14 years old, man.
I think the camera literally just saw my whole fucking system shut down and reboot.
It's crazy, right?
I had to think about that for a second.
It's nuts.
So, short answer, no, I would not be upset. In the moment, probably, yeah, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, you got me. But my thing is, I love doing pranks.
Me too. What'd you do as a kid?
So, like, if you did that to me, like,
We might have squabbed.
buckle up, Buttercup.
Really?
because
This kid was not
I wouldn't.
that- he was
I would
not.
not have even come at you right then.
Oh, you would have waited?
Yeah, no.
Blindsided me?
You would have been messaging me on Facebook, like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, what's a prank you did?
Well, as a kid, I mean, I was always doing shit. Like, I was never bad in school, but I was constantly mischievous.
Mhm.
Like, I was always up to something. Like, I'm scheming. Like, if a prank happened, have you ever seen American Vandal on Netflix?
That's a good show.
So,
I like that show.
how they all immediately thought it was the one kid in the first season?
Yeah,
Like,
they're like, it's this kid. He's always doing shit like that.
yeah.
So you got that.
They,
You're like, it's Colby.
It was never like that serious. Like, they
Yeah.
knew I had a limit. But if something like wonky took place, then yes, absolutely. So
You were suspect number 1. What's up, Reddy?
one time, the one that like really stands out, there was a substitute teacher, and I hope she's doing well now, but I hated her as a substitute teacher.
Nobody likes a sub. Dude.
And her name was Miss Mundy, and she took her job far too fucking serious.
They all do. They're like mall security. Like, it's not that
And
important.
her daughter was, and I don't remember her daughter's name. I actually kind of feel bad about that. Mediocre band member.
Shitty French horn player.
She just showed up and did her thing.
Right.
But Miss Mundy thought she was the shit because her daughter was in the band and she was subbing for the band director that day, right? Oh, yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, ring around the rosy, bitch.
Yeah.
So she shows up and like we're having jazz band rehearsal in one of the practice rooms. Basically, it was me and Will in there and like a couple other guys, and we're just playing like punk songs, like
Just dicking
fucking
around.
around on Blink 182 and shit like that.
Yeah.
And she came and like shut that down, like took the plugins for the amps and stuff, and we're like, that's fucking lame.
Okay.
And I was like, well, now I'm bored, and that's where you fucked up.
Yeah, because now I'm gonna get in trouble.
So what I did is I went to the back of the band hall, like into the percussion closet, climbed up into the ceiling, and like climbed up like through the ceiling to where like it was overlooking the
Offices?
podium,
Oh, the podium. Okay.
and that's where she was sitting. And our drummers, our percussionists rather, we got to put respect on the name.
Call them drummers.
Nah, they were drummers. It's scary. They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
legit.
Let's. I don't
Will
care.
Will was the only one that was really popping that shit.
I don't take any.
But they were always like fucking around when they didn't want to play or rehearse or whatever, and like just throwing their sticks up into the ceiling. They're
Sticking
like,
them in there. Yeah.
well, no, like up through. They would always have like a square. Like they would just throw them up there, and they'd be like, "We don't have any sticks. Like, we don't know where they all went."
That's so stupid.
And so I'm up in the roof, and I'm just grabbing sticks, and I would pull back one of the tiles, and I would drop it where I knew it wasn't going to hit her, but it would hit the podium, and I would just drop it and close the screen.
So she had no idea.
I got like through 3 of them, and then when I happened to like peep, she saw the tile move, and she was like, "Who's up there?" And I was like, "All right, time to boot scoot." And I had already thought about this. I had my map like laid out, because you don't want to step on the things, because I'm like 20 feet up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If you fall, you're gonna get real hurt.
Anybody who's been in a band hall, like in that main area, that's steep. I would be fucked.
Yeah.
So I had to like tread on a wall, because the walls come up about yay big over the ceiling tiles.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to like tread on that, and I fucking had it. Like literally, I get to the wall where because she's still in the main band hall area,
right?
And I'm trying to like trounce around and just come walking out of the percussion closet like, "What are you yelling about, Miss Monday?" and be an asshole, right?
Yeah.
So I get to the last wall, like literally, I have the ceiling tile open over here to the percussion room. All I had to do was like throw my hips and legs, and I was a lot smaller then, a lot more agile.
Yeah.
Just throw my hips and legs over and just fucking land on the little
you're good
bench and hop down, and I'm good. I slipped.
Oh.
And I fell through the tile onto like the lockers where the instruments were.
In front of everybody.
Dude, when I tell you, because it was May Day at that point, people were doing shit everywhere. So it happened in front of about 3 people. Oh, okay. The funniest part was like I didn't fall like all the way through, like I caught myself, but like my feet came through,
sticking out and dangling.
Yeah, like literally just like I like felt the little thing. I was like, thank God that was there. Like I thought I was gone.
Right, break your ankles type shit.
And so I just like hoisted myself back up real quick. Yeah. And the funniest thing, I forget who it was that saw her. I want to say it was Sherry Borland, and I know that's random and means nothing here. I haven't even thought about this person and. Since 2009. I hope she's doing well. But
shout out to Sherry.
But she was like, "Yeah, Miss Monday, like as soon as your foot fell through, she started fumbling around, and she pulls out a digital camera, because she was like saying she was going to take pictures of shit that we did that day, and goes to take a picture, and she snapped the picture right as my foot went back up. So she didn't see it at all. And I come walking back around, and I'm like limping like a sumbitch, right?
Like you tell.
I'm trying to play it off, and she's like, "Where did you just come from, Colby Charles?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I'm sitting here like, "Yo, my ankle is yacked right now, lady. Please don't yell at me."
Yeah.
She knew it was me. So yeah, I got ISS for like 3 days from that.
That's not bad.
And I had to personally purchase and replace the ceiling square.
That's so stupid.
Destruction of public property. They said I could either fix it or get a charge.
Wow. That sounds like some school shit though, dude.
Yeah.
That sounds like some school shit. I was that's hilarious. There's something that's really similar to that. So I was doing like, you know how I don't know if your school did this, but we did this. Drum camp would start like 2 weeks before band camp started in high school. So drums would go like 2 weeks before, and then band camp would start, kind of type shit. So it's just the drum line there, and then this is after Chris had graduated. So he has graduated already. He's not there anymore. We're in the choir room. In the choir room, there's a big medicine ball. You know those big, massive medicine balls that you can kick and they'll just fly.
Yeah.
So we were in there and we were just like dicking around, and Chris was in there, and I'm a senior. He had just graduated, and we raised havoc, dude.
Yeah.
So he kicks this thing. It hits one of those ceiling tiles. The ceiling tile goes up, comes all the way down, cracks in half, and then 2 of our instructors walk in immediately. And then Chris is just standing there with this medicine ball in his hands, and they're like, "Chris, did you do that?" And he just dead ass looks at him and goes, "Nope." And we're all sitting there like, he did that shit, but we didn't say anything. We didn't say a word. So like, Chris, are you sure you sure, Chris, you're sure you didn't do that? He's like, "Oh, I didn't do it." So the bold-faced looked at him. Nobody got in trouble for it.
Dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
Chris is the best person for that too. Deadpan. No.
Dude, we used to do something kind of like what you said with like the sticks thrown up. So we would have like, there's the lockers on one side, band hall, and then there's another little area. And like the ceiling was lowered. It was like where the whiteboard was. The ceiling's lowered a little bit. We would get those bass drum mallets and throw them up like as hard as we could and just get them stuck in the ceiling. So there's just fucking holes, like sticks and that shit.
Yeah.
And then we would get bass drum mallets and throw them at the big bass drum and see how far we could get them to bounce off of it. So just like, boom.
We did that
just
shit too,
denting shit. It was so bad.
We had like the concert bass drum that's on the little mount, and you could boom.
Oh yeah.
You catch that thing just right, they're gonna fly.
Dude, we would there was one time I had gotten like this, my bum ass dad had bought me this drum set. And so he had got me a new snare drum, but I had an old one. And it had like a shit ass head on it. And I was like, Chris, let's just fucking break this thing. So we're hitting as hard as we can. We have a head on it and we're hitting it. It's like ding. And then it's like dong, dong, dong. Like the head is loosening and cracking. We're just beating the absolute shit out of it.
That's wild.
And then we find a cymbal that I have. And I'm like, let's go fold this bitch like a taco. This was like when Jackass was a thing. So we're just out there just fucking it up, jumping on it. Like just destroying shit for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why we did it, but it was like so appealing.
Yeah.
There was also a this is super random because it's all like coming back at the same time.
Yeah.
We there was a church down the street. I had 3 churches on my street growing up.
Fuck.
3 churches.
East Texas, baby.
God, dude, it's terrible. So on one of them, it had like a triangle roof, and then it was 2 flat sides and a triangle. Almost looked like a half-ass Whataburger sign.
Yeah.
It was like a peak. But so the flat
They have
areas
that
had
backup plan for when the congregation dies out.
Exactly. And there's these little bitty rocks. It's like sometimes it's not like gravel, it's just like little bitty rocks. So we would get up there and we would climb on that roof, get on that flat part, and we would throw rocks at cars and like lay down so they couldn't see us. People would stop like, who the fuck did that? And nobody could see us. We one day we did it for like 3 hours, and a cop pulls up.
Oh.
And so we're ready. We're like, all right, who's next? And it's a cop, and we see him go, pew, and like sees us on the roof. Dude, we just I run through like 5 people's backyard and made it to my house, didn't get caught. I probably would have got.
Did Chris get caught?
No. It was me and another kid.
Oh, okay.
Chris wasn't there for that. This was like dude, I was probably in like 6th or 7th grade.
That's your Adobe.
Oh, oops. 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to be terrible though, bro. Me and this same kid that almost got in trouble with the rocks, we would go to like Red Lobster in Sherman, like to go school shopping. We'd go to like Red Lobster, and me and him would just piss all over the bathroom. I'm talking all over it. Paper towels, toilet paper, everything. Just piss all over it.
Yeah.
Terrible. There's another horrible story. This is me and God, these are so bad. Me and my buddy.
Air your grievances,
I'm not going to say his name, but me and my buddy, we went over to one of my mom's friend's house, and they had like a little pool set, like the little tiny pool sets, the kid pool set, super small. So we're in there and like we're playing, and then I just start getting rough, and I'm like, oops, and I like scratch on it, put a hole in it. And he's like, oops, he starts doing it. And so it's like by the end of it, there's like 10 rips in this fucking toy set. And we just put balls over it to hide it. And then we piss on the toilet paper. We like 50-50 grind on their tanning bed. We like piss in the corners of the room. Like, I'm like, why were we doing this? I was an awful child, dude. I broke my arm 3 times before I was like 14. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
First time I was at my buddy's house, and we were playing. This was when Rocco's Modern Life was popular, and you had Mr. and Mrs. Big Head.
Yeah.
So he puts this beanbag on my head. He's like, "You're Mr. Big Head," and he pushes me. He had one of those old school concrete bears right by his door as a doorstop. I go back, all my weight goes on this bear, breaks my arm. Right, go get a cast.
Snap.
Blah blah blah. I'm done. Fast forward like 3 years. I'm like 9 or 10. I was like 6 or 7 at that point. I'm like 9 or 10 at this point. I'm skateboarding, which is a great idea for me, by the way. Skateboarding, and I'm like, there's this patio, and then right off the patio is a rail. So you don't even have to ollie onto it. You just ride on it. Like it's like the patio stops, and then the rail starts. I get on this rail, fall back, break my arm.
Fuck yeah.
Get my cast off. 2 weeks later, I try to ollie a 3-stair, break my arm again.
Hey, you were excavating
Dude,
that shit though.
my arm, by the time it came out, was like half the size of my right arm. It had atrophied so much that it looked like I weighed 50 pounds less in this arm than in this arm. It was pale. It was super skinny, and I had no muscle tone in it.
Whereabouts did you break it?
It was like right here at the wrist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Both bones?
Just one. Just my radius.
Wow.
Yeah. But then, so crazy story is, second time I broke it, the doctor that fixed me up fucked my arm up. Didn't put the bone in the right spot, so my arm bent like a fork. It was like it was fucked up. And then the kid that I fucked up the pool tables with, his dad was an orthopedic surgeon. So when I broke my arm again, he was like, this is actually a good thing because I'll actually fix your arm. Puts a tourniquet on my arm starts turning purple and has white spots over it. He's pressing so hard, he's like setting my bone back in place. And then he puts a cast on it and it heals right. And that's what happened then. Shout out to Dr. Carroll. That's fucking crazy, right? This is all by the time I'm like 14. Dude, I remember the age of like 10 or 11 years old. My buddy, his older brother, was like 3 years older than us. He's like, you can get away with anything until you're about 14. So he's like, fuck some shit up. And I remember after that, I was like,
wrong.
All right. He's like, just don't hurt anybody. You can tear anything up. And that's what we would do. We would fucking, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. We would ride out.
No, you're fine. I love hearing it.
At the beginning of like high school, this buddy of mine, his older brother had a truck. So we would all get in this truck. And what we would do is we would ride around town and try to find empty trash cans.
Yeah.
And we would just demolish them. Like grab the empty trash can, set it up side down and like tackle it, stomp on it, body slam it until it was like in pieces and then put it back in their yard. Jumping in bushes. You ever jump in like a rosemary bush? The really prickly ones?
No.
Yeah, dude. So outside that church I was talking to you about, there was all these rosemary bushes and we would like bet each other like, all right, I bet you, a Pokemon card that you won't jump in this rosemary bush or this holly bush. Dude, it hurts so bad and you just jump in it.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't do it.
We had those fucking little trashy kids on my street. They'd be like, I bet you won't stick your hand in this ant pile. And I remember seeing kids stick their hand in ant piles and just all the way up their arm. And they're like, ah! And then they start, and their arms just ate up. And they're like sick for the next couple of days.
I'm allergic to ant bites, so that'd be a no for me, dog.
Yeah, dude. I remember one time, it was like second or third grade. And there was like this after school reading program during the summer. Yeah. And I told my grandma, I was like, I don't want to go. She's like, you got to go. You're dumb. I was like, fuck. Okay. I go, and this chunky ass redheaded girl pushed me on the playground, and I fell in a fire ant bed. Ate up half my arm, dude. And I came back. I was like, Grandma, I told you I didn't want to go. And I'm just like fucked up. I'll shut up though. But that, dude, I have so many crazy stories from when I was a kid. Did you ever get injured? Did you ever break a bone?
So I've broken one bone twice.
What bone?
Well, I guess I don't really count my nose. I feel like that's so superficial.
I've never broken my nose, dude.
Okay, well then 3. I guess we'll count it.
Okay.
This pinky finger.
Really doing what?
Broke it twice. Both playing football, actually.
Really? Catching or like tackling or?
Catching, both times.
Oh, God, those are the worst.
First time was like junior or senior year in high school. I don't remember what. But basically the way I got my biggest opportunity in like high school football is, with all due respect, because a lot of them were great guys, we had a bunch of idiots on our team that couldn't make grades. And
So like,
I was going to make grades.
classes?
So like that's how I like gained like steady promotions.
Yeah.
I wasn't the fastest. I was strong, but not the strongest. But like, I just love to play football. I'm gonna get out there and fucking ball with you. You know?
could pass your classes, and you showed up. And gave you effort. That's all that matters.
And so they were like, "Who can return punts?" Because whoever failed, I was like, "I can." I was also that guy too. Who could do this? Me.
Me. Yeah.
I'm in.
Me
Put
too.
me in, coach. I'm ready. All the time.
Me too.
And so I wound up being the punt returner for like the second half of the season.
Damn.
And it was, I remember this vividly. I had a visor on my helmet for a whole nother story because I got fucking my eye gouged in a football game earlier this season. Well, I'll get to that one in a second, but
okay.
Hot sweaty day. It's like Thursday. The game's on Friday. I guess it was probably senior year then.
Yeah. No,
junior year. It was junior year. I'm remembering now. Hot sweaty day. We're just running special teams because we have a game that day. Mm-hmm. So it's Thursday. I was on JV. And we're running punt returns against varsity. And
that's good.
And I'm a junior. Like, I probably should have been on varsity anyways. I don't think the coaches liked me, but
right. It is what it is.
So I'm going back for this kick return, and it goes up and it gets lost in the sun. Normal happens, right? You still know like where to trail it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I also had sweat, I guess, that had got on my visor, and I hadn't thought about that.
Mm.
And so like I lose it in the sun, and then there's like this glare on all the sweat going crazy ways. I'm like, fuck, I really can't see this ball. And then like, and you have 11 people running
at you, ready to
like
lay
full
you
speed.
out.
Like you're the guy they're targeting. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
You're that motherfucker, right? And like I'm like, oh shit, and like this adrenaline, and I'm like, oh my god. And then last second, I'm like, oh, there's the ball. Like I literally saw it when it was like probably right here,
And you just
and I'm like, whoa, and it just
mm.
fucking cracked that bitch. And I couldn't like pick it up and run it because immediately that's shot. I'm like, why am I in so much pain all of a
sharp
sudden?
pain, yeah.
And I have people literally like
Running
me to you about to plow my ass.
Yeah.
And so I just fall on the ball, like
Like you're supposed
loose
to.
ball, like
Or knee it or
cover
fall on it, yeah.
And I get up and I'm like, oh shit. And I had like receiver gloves on, but like this thing is like pointed out like that.
I wasn't dislocated, it was broke.
It was fucked. And I remember Drakus Blanton, who was like, I went to a very small town in East Texas. Like he was like the black kid on the team.
Okay.
I love Drakus. I actually don't. I'm referencing all these names like people I haven't heard from or seen in years and years and years. Again, I hope Drakus is crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, "All right, I can set it for you." Coach did mine the other day.
No.
And he goes, "I'm gonna do it on 3. 1, crack."
Oh.
And I like, no. And so I had to get a medic check on it. Like I had to go to like the school's personal trainer, which was our vice principal at the time. Shout out Mr. Dan Taylor. He was the baddest motherfucker.
Dan, man.
He was a goofball from head to toe, but just like the nicest dude. And he genuinely wanted what was best for the students.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I loved him. I gave him hell, but looking back now, I'm like, I should have been nicer to that.
Yeah,
dude.
right. Okay, so he sets your finger.
He checks it out and
tries to.
everything. My finger the next day, and it's like game day. I guess maybe it might have been varsity. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But my finger is huge and pretty much black. And he has to give me an approval to even play in the game that night. And he was like, just buddy tape it.
Like tape it to another finger?
Yeah. And I was like, really? I was like, it's broken. And he was like, yeah, honestly, I just like watching you play. And I was like, bet. Because that's all I needed to get cleared. And I was like, can you sign here? Good. Buddy tape the fuck out of that. So I was doing kick returns and punt returns.
With a broken pinky.
Yeah, and I played running back and outside linebacker. It doesn't matter as much an outside linebacker. But every other time I was on the field, like there was potential I was going to get the ball, right? Damn. So on kick returns and shit, I think they probably saw that I had my shit buddy tape. They obviously were targeting me and like kicking it to me. I would dead ass just like back way the fuck up and catch it off the first bounce and just hit the ground fucking moving ass.
Oh, okay.
Which actually kind of worked out. I mean, I didn't ever return one, but I'd have like a 10, 15-yard return here or there.
That's good. I mean, when you got that many dudes coming at you, you have to be ridiculously fast to get away, bro.
But also that way I could like, I knew where the ball was and I'm catching it off first bounce. I could kind of peep like where everybody is and like off first bounce, like just hit the lane where I think is the best. But
that's pretty smart too, because those kids probably aren't kicking it too far. I mean, they're in high school.
No.
They're not. It's not all the way to.
It wasn't that serious. I'm not trying to make it sound like a Friday Night Lights thing. But
he was in Remember the Titans.
I broke the fuck out of that finger. And then fast forward like many years, probably like 2 years ago, I was playing in a Dallas like rec league kickball team.
Yeah.
With just some buddies that I know from around the area, and we were throwing a football, like getting warmed up for the kickball game.
Yeah.
And my dude Connor, he just like laid up a little one just right over my shoulder. Like it was honestly gorgeous. And I went up and I literally thought like, this is so beautiful. I'm just gonna pull it down.
Gonna one-hand
like
it.
I don't even have to like exert anything. Like it's just I'm gonna grab the tip and like pull it down. And when I went up, I remember like looking at it and the ball just like, and it just I literally saw that joint move and it did it again. Same joint. Same way, fucked me up.
That's brutal. I've jammed my pinky. I don't know which one it is, but one of them won't straighten. Which one is it? The right one? Yeah, the right one can't. It won't. See, look.
Yeah.
Like I can go that, but yeah, I've jammed this one, and it's from catching footballs.
Yeah.
From nothing else but catching footballs.
Yeah.
Footballs will fuck you up, man.
It will.
I've been drilled in the head by footballs. Like people throwing them and you don't see them, and just dong. bad. I like playing like now. I like playing by the pool with those little like Nerf balls because
Yeah.
they don't fuck your fingers up.
Dude, until I fucked my foot up, I was still playing in like flag football leagues
Dude, no
around Dallas.
way.
I fucking love
Dude, my
football.
ankles are so shot. I
Yeah.
remember because I played soccer. That was my sport. I wasn't big enough.
I've seen you play soccer. You're pretty cold.
I'm pretty good at soccer. I played with the A&M girls one time, and they were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
But I didn't. I mean, they're girls.
You played on the Pike Intramural team,
Yeah, we wrecked on that team.
dude.
That shit was
That
hey,
shit was unfair. We were literally mercy ruling people in the first half
Yeah,
every game.
yeah, it was bad. It was
And
bad.
I'm not exaggerating. That's not just some old frat boy shit, but
No, we were murking those kids. That shit wasn't even fair. But I remember in high school, so there's many ways to kick a soccer ball. You can kick it with the inside of your foot. You can kind of go that way. It'll kind of curve it to the left. You can also kick it with the outside of your foot, which will, curve it the other way.
yeah.
I remember I was really trying to get good at that outside foot curve. So I remember one time, dude, there's a ball right there and it's like set up. It's not moving. I go to kick it. I gauge it wrong and I kick the ground and roll the fuck out of my, like, think about kicking the ground with the outside of your foot as hard as you can. I couldn't even walk on it, dude. It was so bad. I swole up like a tennis ball.
Yeah.
That was my ankle that I fucked up so much. There was another time, junior year, JV, we had won playoffs or whatever, which hoorah, whatever. Yeah, I was on JV until I was a senior too, basically. Yeah. We're fucking hyped. So we get the Gatorade, we're dumping it on our coach. We dump it on him. The ice goes on the ground. I slip on that ice and roll my ankle on the 50-yard line in front of everybody in the stadium.
Fuck yeah.
I looked so stupid.
We love to see it.
There was also another time when I was on varsity the same year, because I played JV and varsity, but I would just sit the bench on varsity. So I went to a game with varsity. We had all dyed our hair blonde because we had made it to playoffs. We had never made it to playoffs. So there's a bunch of white kids from Paris, bumfuck Paris, blonde hair. I'll never forget this. First round of playoffs was against Mount Pleasant. It's all Spanish kids, all Mexican kids. So they slaughter us 9-1.
How?
In a soccer game?
Yeah.
That's awful. 9-1, and I remember afterwards, we just got back on the bus, and my buddy Atterbury, I don't know if you've met him.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's quiet. Everybody's like, oh, man, fuck, we got beat 9-1. It's like, this is shameful. And Tyler stands up and screams, Coach, turn the bus around. He's like, Tyler, why? He's like, because I left my heart on the field. And everybody was so mad, bro. Everybody was like, shut the fuck up. Like, everybody was so mad.
Oh my god.
We just got beat 9-1. He didn't even play. He was like me. We both didn't even play. All of our hair is blonde. We look like a complete fucking Igmo, dude.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Tyler's funny as fuck.
What was one of your craziest high school times? You went to probably some party. No, you didn't even party.
I didn't really party, dude. I was a Bible thumper. I went to.
You had to do something crazy though.
I went to probably like 2 parties in high school. I would get invites like
You just wouldn't go
all the time. Like I either wasn't allowed to or had something going on or I worked. I guess my real crazy thing is like Will and I were in a metal band and we were like actually like pretty fucking good. If you go on SoundCloud and look up A Starlit Burial.
Oh my God, I remember A Starlit Burial.
You can, some of our tracks are still up there. That's actually what this tattoo is from right here. That's from our album cover, which is
I didn't even know that.
Which is the logo that we have on SoundCloud or whatever. I played bass and keys, well, keys primarily, but then eventually wound up taking over bass because of a couple lineup changes. But like Will and I were playing shows on weekends when we weren't doing shit.
That's dope. See, in high school, that's all I wanted, but it's like you had to have like a full band and you had to play like country music.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't wasn't about it. We
just happened to like, so the way we even got into the scene, Kaufman County itself had like an extremely good I'm
gonna have you walk me through some of these pictures really quick.
My Google? Yeah, we can do that.
So what is and I didn't mean to cut off your story, but I was just like, let me just Google you really quick and just see what the fuck's going on. So what is it? Voyage Dallas? You did a little Voyage Dallas cover?
Yeah, this? That's an article about me and my writing.
Snap. Look at that.
That's me in the Swiss Alps.
That's pretty tight.
That's me.
Dude, you got to get the beard back. I like that. That's Shel Silverstein big time right there.
That's me in Bishop Arts. I shaved the beard because I didn't want to deal with it at Bonnaroo.
That's fair. Dude, feet, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's me at a couple open mics.
Okay, shit. Let me go back to one of these other pics.
Yeah.
If I can go this way.
Shit, what story was I even telling just a minute
Dude,
ago?
I don't even fuck. I'm going off the cuff right
I
now. You were
cannot
talking
fucking
about
remember.
Starlit Burial and how you guys would like.
Oh, yeah, like we were like 17, 18, 19 years old. Like we were playing at like the Curtain Club and like the Door Dallas and shit like that. We didn't even know how to spell Deep Ellum at that point. And we're like, we don't fucking know where we're at, but
Right.
we're 18 years old and we're allowed to be here. And we would get like fucking 21-year-old wristbands and shit. There's actually a cool story on that one. The poetry of Colby Charles. So Tyler Tyndall took that photo.
Colby Charles resides in the Knox Henderson area with his girlfriend, pup, best friend. This is so old. This needs to be
very
updated.
old. Yeah,
this needs to be updated. Is this still your website?
No, that is not live anymore. But Tyler Tyndall took that photo when we worked together at Travis Elementary in Greenville, Texas. And this is actually Wild Detectives is the first place where my poetry was ever published.
Oh, that's tight.
Those 3 poems are my that's my first publication ever.
Is your Pinterest profile?
I have a Pinterest.
I just like to Google and
that's a photo from Country Christmas. That's me and Biff, who is our Pike advisor.
Biff.
Matt Rosenbaum. Holy
Can you explain
shit!
this picture to me? What is this all about?
Wow, how is that on the internet?
What is this all about?
So that's me, obviously, and then my best friend Miranda, and at the time, one of my very good friends, Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually at a show that Starlit Burial played in Fort Worth, I want to say.
Damn.
We played with a few really dope bands, a couple that I thought were going to make it. In Search of Sight, who was crazy good. They had this guy with long hair, just insanely talented vocalist. And then this other band called A Wolf, a Liar.
Uh-huh.
I remember like a couple guys from that, but Dalton Lott, who is the vocalist, and this is like a small, like fucking local band scene thing. He's climbing on the rafters upside down in the middle of their set. Like they are so crazy. And we're like, what the fuck?
Is this you guys?
Yeah, this is us.
So this is a metal band.
Yeah.
What part did you play?
On this would have been bass and keys.
Bass and keys.
But yeah, you see the logo, the star and all that stuff? That's what that is, yeah.
Oh shit, this was like fucking heavy. Who did the singing?
Taylor Davis, who still lives in East Texas.
Dude, I'm gonna be really real with you. I was not expecting that to be that heavy.
And the thing is, too,
I do remember the name though.
The thing is, too, like at one point, all of us were music majors except for Will. So, like, some of our rehearsals when we were working out new charts, we like had sheet music.
Seriously? Would y'all put it on Guitar Pro or whatever? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Nathan Wackett.
Dude, what happened to Nathan Wackett, man?
He lives in Plano. He's married, and he's still doing music. He's writing one of his I want to read it right because I actually just messaged him about this like recently.
Nathan Wackett.
Yeah, he's still the homie. I've seen him. He worked at House of Blues for a while.
Oh shit. Okay.
He said right now I'm producing a hardcore EP for a client's band, and he has a black metal album that he's mixing up after that.
Black metal.
And then he has one of his own personal projects that he's just slowly building up here and there. So yeah, he's still playing music. He was the mastermind behind A Starlit Burial. He would write
everything.
He wrote everything, concept all him, everything. Like we would once we learned the song is when he would like give us like a little bit of laissez-faire with like certain parts. Like I remember the first time he was like, "You could do a solo on those 3 bars," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, okay, cool. So I memorized like every chord on that section of the fretboard. Like I knew exactly what I wanted to do so that like the next rehearsal, I like crushed it and Nathan just wouldn't say anything to me about it.
Yeah.
And it happened. And I was like, I just I added my own shit, you know. But no, it was he was just like a mastermind. Like he knew what he wanted. He knew what it wanted to sound like. He knew the concept. He knew what he was going for. Like technicality, music wise,
I didn't know he was good at composition.
he just knew. Oh, Nathan's he's a genius.
I didn't know that.
Straight up a genius. Yeah, I love listening to him and like hearing him write parts and like so we were roommates our freshman year at college too.
I didn't know that.
And so I would just hear him like writing bits and stuff that wound up being like songs that we were playing at shows.
Like
you know?
improvising riffs and shit like that.
Yeah.
What are some of your metal bands that you like?
Metal bands that I like nowadays, a little bit slimmer of a list. First that comes to mind is The Contortionist.
That sounds metal.
They so I like really like proggy metal too. So like they're fucking heavy. Like don't get me wrong, but they do a lot of like clean to heavy and like very versatile. Periphery.
Periphery's good.
Misha, the vocalist, he is a madman.
Yeah.
Of course, the throwbacks like All Shall Perish, Job for a Cowboy, stuff like that.
Job for a Cowboy. That one song,
Yeah.
And 2 Men of a Machine.
Ding, 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 ding.
That shit is so good.
Yeah,
so good.
That is so much fun.
If you've never heard Job for a Cowboy and 2 Men of a Machine, go listen to like the first minute. That's all you need is the heaviest shit you'll ever hear.
Or if you're into crazy shit and you're about to go hit a lick at the gym or something like that, like if you need to get hyped up for something, that'll put you
That will get you, dude. I used to listen to Meshuggah when I went to sleep. Meshuggah is so heavy.
I got really into Meshuggah like late high school.
Me too. That was like the same time I got so into Meshuggah. And what I liked about it was all the polyrhythms and how it went over the bar line and so rhythmic. That's what I would listen to. I wasn't listening necessarily to the words or anything. Yeah. I was just listening to the rhythms and I would literally just go to sleep listening to all those polyrhythms. I loved it.
Dude,
Meshuggah was so good.
Black Dahlia Murder is a big one for me. Actually, I had a pregame song that Will and I would listen to before every football game. There was two. Thank You for the Venom by My Chemical Romance. And then Climactic Degradation by...
That sounds so metal.
Like, literally, it's so fucked up.
Degradation.
They're very anti-Christian. And so, like, in that song, like, literally, they're talking about going into a Christian village and destroying it.
Oh, my God.
And some of the lyrics are literally, like, rip them, rape them, bring them to their knees.
Jesus.
Like the most heavy, like, dark, fucked up shit you could think of.
Yeah.
And his voice, I can't even, like, imitate it. It's like...
Oh, he's like... Yeah.
But it's, like, the just dark, heavy shit.
I like that shit.
Metal-wise, though, Texas in July.
Texas in July is good.
Very clean sound. I love how like structured they are with everything. And Adam Gray, the drummer, apparently he's like autistic or something.
I didn't know that. Did you ever listen to Chiodos?
Yeah. Craig Owens is a dick though.
Oh, I don't know him. I just know the band. You know more like the band.
He's like in the industry, like known for being a douche.
He's good though. Like I don't know if he writes the music, but it's wet. Chiodos is good. That was like the first like metal band I really was into.
Ooh, I don't call it metal. That's like that post-hardcore scene. When
I guess you're right. It's not really because it's kind of glam.
Yeah,
glammy.
So Anthony Green, who's like my music genius, Jesus, like he's the end all be all. He's in a band called The Sounds of Animals Fighting.
That's such a good metal name.
And it's like very like progressive trippy shit. A lot of guys from RX Bandits are in it, which they're like this like proggy ska band. Craig Owens was in it. Keith Goodwin, who's in Good Old War now, he's been in like several other bands as well. He's actually like helping Anthony Green produce like his current record that he's working on or done, but I guess was working on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's like it's a super group. So like Matt and Steve and one other guy from RX Bandits, Anthony Green, Craig Owens, a couple other dudes. I can't remember off the top.
Yeah.
But it's just the super group, and each musician has an animal like assigned to it or whatever.
That's tight.
The Sound of Animals Fighting. Like Anthony Green is the skunk. I don't remember the rest of them.
Right.
But they've put out like 2 albums, something like that, over like they've existed for like, you tell me how long. I don't know. They had never played in Texas before. and they randomly put out a 10-city tour a couple of years ago, and Dallas was one of them.
So you're like,
And
gotta be there.
me, Will's girlfriend, ran into a couple of buddies from high school there as well. We went, and I did like the VIP thing because I like to like talk to Anthony Green and like ask him about music and like stuff like that. And I nerd out hard about Anthony Green. I asked him, I was like, "So did y'all bring Craig on the tour?" He's like, "Nah, man, I don't even want to get into all that."
Damn.
But it's because like he's a fucking huge douche.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't even know that. I want to switch gears for a second. Let's go. I want to go back to college. I want to talk more about kind of our college experience. I feel like on the last podcast we got into it a little bit, but some of the stories like that, the Hell Week story that you had last time, that clip did numbers on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if there was any other frat stories that you remember that you could tell. Kind of like other things that happened during Hell Week, because the banana story was a hitter.
The banana story, that's
a really fucking good
actually story. Really funny. The guy who went after me, his experience was probably honestly funnier.
Why?
I guess it doesn't matter if I say his name. Henry Chudabem Okigbo.
I mean, I know Henry. Yeah. Big as hell.
Yeah.
Fucking big as hell.
Swole motherfucker, but he is the sweetest
man you'll ever meet.
Like he looks like he could crush your fucking skull in his hand.
Oh, he's straight up like Kimbo Slice's cousin big. He's big.
But then he's just like, "Colby, so good to see you."
Dude, he's so nice.
And he's got this like deep voice. Like, just a gentle giant type of man. So his big brother wasn't there. And I was like the lead of our pledge class or whatever. Yeah. So they're like, "Go get Henry." And like, I know what's going on now.
Right. He does.
So like, you know how I said in the last clip, like the big bros always pulled him in.
Yeah.
So I go and get Henry, and I was like, honestly, I don't even really know what to tell you, dude, but this next little bit is not going to be fun. And so we bring him in, and they like walk him through the spiel, got the little cup with the shit there. And he's like listening. You can see him he was like holding the toilet.
Mad as hell.
Just fucking stern face. And Henry's big. Yeah, he could kick any of our ass if he had a mean bone in his body. Like, he could break all of us in half. Like, simultaneously.
No doubt. He's Hulk mode, for real.
You could tell he's pissed. And he was like, "Really?" Like, when they were done. Like, "Really?" And we're like, "Yeah, really. Like, we've been asking you about this all semester." He was like, "I cannot believe this. And you too, Chris?" Like, he can't see anything, but he can hear like voices in the room.
He knows he's in the room.
He was like, "Blah, blah," and like all this shit. And he was like, and I'm like, "Henry, trust me, bro. Just do it. Like, just trust me. I can't tell you why or who or what." He was like, "Oh, no, not you too, Colby. This is foul. Y'all are foul. I can't believe y'all some foul people." And he just started like going off. Like, I've never seen Henry so fucking pissed off.
Did he do it?
So Henry also had braces, right? So we like debated with him, and he's like about
stuck in my braces, man.
He's like about to quit the process because of this. Like, he's fucking done. Granted, we're getting initiated like the next night. We don't know that.
So you didn't want to end it for him.
Yeah, we didn't know that, but also like they didn't want to like push it to that point, you know, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, and they told us, I forgot to say this on the last one. They tell us before they bring you in the room, "You understand, per our hazing guidelines, we can't force consumption of any food or beverage."
Yeah.
Or anything really. There's some like proper. They read it like from the guidelines.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, say yes if you understand and agree. Say no and ask any questions that you have. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Yeah, I get it." Like, whatever.
Yeah.
And so Henry loses his shit, and I wish that I could recreate that like energy, because he was like, "This is foul," like, and he was just so animated, and he was in the drama department as well too.
He's a good actor.
It's like just over the top, just like, "I cannot believe you guys," and like just started railing everybody. I think that's the first time I ever heard him cuss.
Damn, so he was mad.
So I finally like talk him into it, right?
Yeah.
I think it was like me and Amir or somebody. Finally get him cooled down. We're like, "Henry, just do it, bro. Just do it."
Yeah.
He goes down, he grabs it, and his hand's doing this. And he gets it up, and you could tell he's trying to go for just a little.
Just like a little bit.
and he did it, and he got it all in his braces too when he chomped that, and then he like immediately like pulls up the blindfold and he's like, man, and he was so like relieved, happy / still really pissed, and all of us were like,
That's funny.
don't kill us. But yeah, and then he had fucking banana in his braces.
Dude, braces in college, that must suck. Was there anything else that happened during Hell Week?
Um,
I'm trying to remember some stories.
During Hell Week,
Or maybe not Hell Week, but like in general, do you remember like them playing a prank on you or something that was funny that you saw or just a moment that was funny like in college? I know we drank a lot.
Oh my God, did we drink a lot?
Dude, we drank so much in college.
I'm trying to.
So much.
I do have just one kind of like just funny story. I swear it's more fun if there's like a bunch of the bros like sitting around chatting about it. But so we were off campus for a long time before we were able to be recognized as a student organization and this was way prior to me even joining, but they got kicked off because of some incident with some pledge or whatever. Yeah. And there's like a 5-year sentence, no active recruiting, no events, whatever.
Yeah.
Our internationals looked into it and couldn't prove what the university was trying to prove. So internationals let us maintain our charter.
Oh, okay.
So we operated as a Pike chapter, just not as a student organization.
Yeah.
Totally breaking all the rules that the university set on us, right?
Yeah.
So at one point, when guys like me and Guff and a couple others like get into, the leadership of the chapter, we decided like, hey, let's quit dicking around and let's figure this out.
Play by the rules and do it right.
We've been talking about getting on campus for years now and how it's just going to be the greatest thing. Let's fucking sack up and do it. Right. Took about a year, about a year and a half. We had to first sell them on letting us do it, even though we hadn't followed the rules whatsoever. But so they like gave us rules. They're like, the only events you're able to have are alumni events, and that's to get alumni back involved with the university and community service. So it was a year of unofficial parties.
That was a good year.
And we set up like a intramural team under the 86ers because we were founded in 1868. That was Guff's idea. Like literally had the 76ers logo, but with an 86 on it. That's on our intramural jerseys and stuff. And so we were using that for recruiting, even though we weren't like recruiting. We were being smart.
Yeah.
We were playing by the rules, but we were doing our own fucking way.
Right.
Fast forward through all this stuff, we get back on campus, and there's going to be a big party at the Pikeplex. So. And it gets wild. Like I'm talking, we probably had like a few hundred beers. Like people are playing Snappa. There's people dancing on the couches. There's hookah. There's people outside like beer bonging, just like typical college party.
Right.
We're a little more amped up this time around though because of the fact that did someone just?
Yeah. I don't care.
But because of what happened, we're all just fucking rowdy. Party goes until like fucking 4 a.m, right? The cops come naturally because we're a bunch of drunk fuckheads.
It's a small town
doing Pike chants at 4 a.m. on the roof of the Pikeplex.
Oh Jesus! So stupid.
And as soon as the cops show up, we all start hopping off the roof and like going and like crawling through windows and like opening the door and like going to hide. And then we were like. We all look around and like I'm in my room and someone's like hiding in my closet and like a bunch of the dudes went into Guff's room and are hiding in the closet there. And we all come back out at the same time like, we're fucking 21. Like, why are we hiding like a bunch of like squares?
Yeah.
And we go and it turns out one of us like knew the cop too. So we didn't even get in trouble.
They didn't even care.
Yeah. That's a very lackluster story.
Yeah, it is a very lackluster story. I got a solid question for you. While you were going through that story, I don't know why this question came into my head. If you had to crap in one article of clothing and wear it, what article of clothing would that be? If you had to poop in an article of clothing and wear it, what would it be?
Like with what I'm wearing right now?
Pants, shoes, or a shirt. Would you rather shit in a pair of shoes and wear them, shit in a pair of shorts and wear them, or shit on a shirt and wear it?
Shorts.
Why shorts?
Closest to the source.
So you could just be like, "Hey, man, it's a little muddy."
Right, fucking shit happens. Man.
Just,
also, I wear shorts.
Shit
I wear shorts that are short as fuck. So, like, honestly, it's probably gonna wallop out while I'm walking. Anyhow,
that's true. Have you ever shit your pants?
Yeah.
When was the last time you shit your pants?
2018.
Why do you know the? Dude, I poop my pants like 2 months ago.
Did you?
Yeah. I didn't tell you this?
No.
I told like all my friends. So I had like a bunch of, I don't know if it was Chipotle or Chewy's or Chinese. Honestly, everything tears me up.
Something with a CH though.
Yeah, something with a CH absolutely ripped me to shreds. So I'm like, all right, babe, I'm gonna go walk Loki, and I hadn't taken my morning shit. I drank a bunch of coffee,
Yeah.
and so I get Loki. We're walking, and I'm going down like way down there, and I get back to like Standard Pour, which is like a good 2-3 blocks.
Yeah.
And you know that feeling when a turd just hits you, and it's like engaged, turd locked.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm like, I need to shit my pants. So I turn around and I'm like, I'm doing the shithouse shuffle, slowly getting back to the crib. Halfway back, and I'm like, I'm gonna shit my pants. Like that turd is like colon hole. It's like
You're fucking.
I'm about to come out,
Your sphincter is dilating,
dude. It was so bad. It was pulsating, and so then I clench it. I put it in second. I clench it even harder, and then I'm like doing the penguin run at this point in time. I get all the way back in here to this lobby. There's girls like at the front, so I have to get in. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I get all the way to the bathroom. I start pulling my underwear down, and my waistband's tied. It's like a pair of pants like this.
Yeah.
My waistband's tied, so I couldn't get them down. So I start shitting, and I'm loading up my underwear, just like loading it up, and I can feel it. And I finally get them all the way down, and it's just like squirting everywhere. It's like in my socks, on my feet, on my legs. And so I finally finish the shit, and then I'm like, I don't even want to look at my underwear. I look at my underwear, and it's just got like a bowl of poo in it. It's straight chili. I take my underwear off. I dump that in the toilet, and then I throw my underwear away. This bathroom smells like an open porta potty because it's open shit in a trash can. I go upstairs, and I'm like, babe.
What did you do? Did you put your pants back on or what?
I put my pants didn't have shit on them.
Okay.
My underwear was loaded though. Like I'm talking, I don't know how I didn't shit on my
your
pants.
Socks.
Oh, I threw my socks away too.
And it was on your legs?
It was on my legs. I had to like wash my legs off and threw my socks away. I had some like shoes like this, so I just rinsed them off. You know what I mean? And then I get upstairs and I'm like, babe, because I was thinking, I was like, am I gonna tell her? And I was like, you gotta tell her. And I was like, babe, I shit my pants. And she's like, how bad? I was like, I don't have my underwear and my socks anymore. She's like, oh my god. And this is like, dude, this is like 3 months ago. It was
damn
horrible, bro.
I've had some close encounters, but the last time I did it, I remember it's 2018. I was relatively new at my current job.
You shit at work?
On the way to work.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
So-
You're in the car and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
fuck me.
And I remember I was running like a tad late that morning because I had to take a crazy shit.
And then you
Like-
get in the car and it's not done.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so like, and I'm wearing like a button down and like some slacks or whatever.
Mhm.
And I remember I'm on this bridge. Like I couldn't even like pull, there wasn't even like the option if I wanted to like pull over and try to like shit on the shoulder or something like that.
You're shitting on the highway.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to hobo that shit. Like I had nowhere to go. And I'm just like, I like feel a fart coming. I'm like, nope.
Don't.
I was like, and I'm driving. I'm like actively driving. I'm like, I don't trust that motherfucker. And I'm like you said, cranked it in the second. I'm like, roadblock, bitch. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And then like, and I think I got it. And you know how you could tell when a fart kind of like recedes a little bit?
Yeah, it's like,
Well, it was like
okay.
it was like the last fucking breath of fresh air before Mount St. Helens erupted. Like, I swear to God, I immediately, like, sitting in my driver's seat of my car, I immediately felt it on like the backs of my thighs. Like, there was no warning. It was like the fart was gone, and then it was just like
sludgy.
Like I imagined it like under my butt, but like the poo just went.
It was sludge, right? It was chilly,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, plasma, if you will. I don't know. You could probably lay towel with it after it hardened. It was pretty rough. So and I'm on the way to work, right?
Right.
And I'm
so
like,
you shit your pants on the way to work. So
on the
you're
way
like,
to
what
work.
the
So
fuck am I gonna do?
it's like 7:30 in the morning,
And it stinks.
Yes.
And it's all over your butt.
And I already kind of wasn't really feeling good, and I was like, no, I'm like still new. I can't really just call in right now, you know. So I'm anybody who knows me, like I'm crazy dedicated to my job. Like I take it very seriously. But like I cannot fucking call in. I've only been at this company like 2-3 months right now, right? And I was like, but what do I do? I'm going to be horrendously late. So I'm like, I got to do something. I was like, fuck it. I'll just call my boss. So I call her, and she might actually listen to this. We're still homies. She doesn't work for the same company that I do anymore, but we're still homies, and we talk often on Instagram. I call her and I'm like, Kelly, I don't think I'm coming into work today. And she was like, well, it sounds like you're in the car. Like, why not? And I was like, yeah, I'm in my car. I'm actually turning around to go home. She's like, okay, like,
What's up?
she's like, yeah, like, what the fuck, basically. And
Yeah.
I was like, in my head, I'm like, I mean, if I just tell her the truth, it's going to be embarrassing, but she won't have any pop back anymore.
Yeah, she's not going to clap back at that.
And I was like, Kelly, I kind of wasn't feeling good this morning, and I just shit my pants on the way to work. I just hit her with the full business. And she was like, okay. She's like, yeah, do what you need to do, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, bet.
My God.
And I went home and I shitted like that whole day.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a day off. But yes, that was, yeah.
That sounds like a muddy day. That's one thing I love about shitting your pants is that your boss can never give you a hard time if you're like, hey, I shit my pants. They're always like, oh, well, you do what you have to do. Like, they never are like, well, I mean, can you clean up your butt and come to work? Like, they're never going to clap back.
Like, where does the HR guideline come in on that?
Yeah,
Like,
there's no rebuttal for that one. Like, in the HR book, they're like, if an employee says they just shat their pants, here's what you should say.
Yeah, here's the script.
I've never gotten any pushback from that one. That's the one I always pull. My go-to is food poisoning.
Yeah.
And I make up an elaborate story for what I ate. I went and had shrimp here and a bunch of seafood, and it was just, I woke up this morning and it was muddy. And they're always like, all right, do what you got to do.
I love how you keep using the term muddy.
What else?
It's
a mud pie. When you shit your
new-
pants, there's nothing worse than shitting your pants, dude.
That's going to be a new thing for me.
Dude, it's muddy. It's like wet. Remember I used to say like everything's wet?
Yeah, it's real muddy in there, boy.
Dude, it's super muddy. But dude, everything that's good is wet. Like good food is wet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good sex is wet. Yeah, there's nothing that's great and good that's dry. Even good jerky that's dried and humidified
has like an aspect of moisture to it. Yeah,
it's still wet.
Like when you open that package of that jerky, it's a little humid.
It's got a little bit of and it's got to be wet. Like everything that's wet is good. I've never had anything that's wet is bad. A good pool is wet.
Mm-hmm.
A good haircut is wet.
Dude, so I saw this clip on Twitter the other day, and they're asking NFL players, like at training camp and stuff, these weird questions. And it made me think of you, and I just now remembered it. Is water wet?
Technically, water is not wet.
Why?
Because water is touching itself, and if water is touching water, it's not wet. Water has to be on something for it to be wet.
What is the definition of wet?
Let's see. In my opinion, wet is something that water has come in collision with. The dictionary definition of wet is covered or saturated with water or another liquid. So water, since it is already wet, if it's covered, if it's around
Since
other
it's
water,
already what? So you just said it's wet.
I mean, okay, you're right. You got a point. But if water is around other water, in essence, it embodies wet. It doesn't make something. You can't make water wet.
It just becomes what is it? There's like a term for it. Not a concentration, solution, mixture. Mixture is one you can pick apart. Solution is something else. Concentrate. It's not a concentrate. It's a solution. When two waters come together, like say fresh water and
salt
water. I don't know.
Think about it this way. Since the word wet is defined as being saturated with the substance, it is impossible for water to be wet. Water can saturate things and can also be saturated by other substances, but it is impossible for it to be wet because you have to be saturated by water to be considered wet. So water can't saturate water.
So do other liquids not get things wet?
No, because it has to be saturated by a liquid. And if water is already saturated, it's a saturated liquid. So any other liquid you put into it isn't going to make it wet.
Mm.
I used to be on your side though. I used to be like, water's wet.
Well, I don't necessarily have a
okay.
point. Like I just haven't had an opportunity to.
I had to really think about that. Water technically is not wet because it has to be saturated with something that is a liquid. and it's already a liquid. So you can't saturate something that's a liquid.
Are there more chairs or wheels in the world?
Oh man, chairs or wheels?
Yeah, I think some chairs have wheels.
That's very true. I want to say wheels, and here's why. Most people have a car.
Mhm.
Most people don't own a singular chair. They own a couch.
How many chairs do you own?
0. I own. No, I take that back. I own 2 bar stools, which
What
I
about
would.
in your office?
Okay, I do have a chair in there, so that's. I'm going to go ahead and lump that into having 3 chairs at my house.
And how many wheels do you own?
None. I don't have a car. But no. I take that back. I have 4 wheels on my chair at home, and that's it.
Suitcase?
Oh, I have 4 wheels on that too. I have 2 suitcases. So 8 plus 4 is what, 12? So I have 12 wheels, 3 chairs.
Yeah,
I'm glad you called that stuff out because I would have never. I think there's more wheels than chairs. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah. God, these are good questions.
But also, if you think about it, like, think about like a stadium.
Tons of chairs at a stadium, dude. But think about everybody that drove there. They all brought 4 wheels with them.
Not all of them.
True, some of them carpooled.
Ubers,
Ubers,
carpools,
Lyfts.
trains, walk.
True. But
Yeah.
most people own a car these days. Most people.
50% of the people in this room, though. So,
I mean, you got a point. But I also have more wheels than chairs. Do you have more wheels than chairs? You have an office chair, but does it have wheels?
it does.
Your car? So that's it. Do you have luggage?
I don't have a roller bag.
So you have 8 wheels at least.
I need to get a new one. That's
How many
why.
chairs do you have?
Uh,
You have 1 office chair, another
3.
like. Where's your,
two or three? 2.
I think you have 2 chairs.
The
You
yellow
have a
chair.
couch and you have a yellow chair and then your office chair.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Office chair has like 5 wheels on it, though. It's
So you
got
have-
like
so
a
you
little
have more
star
wheels than
shape,
chairs.
Whatever. Yeah. More wheels for sure.
I want to see questions like, is water wet? Because we're getting down to the really good stuff right here. 10 instantly debatable topics for your conversations. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Is water wet? Is hot dog a sandwich? What color is nothing?
I'd say black.
Black is a combination of all colors, while white is the absence of color. So white is technically nothing. Black is, so to see color, you need light. If there's no light, then there is no color and just darkness, which is black. So it could be white or black, technically. Is cereal a soup?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just milk's the broth and the cereal's the additives.
I agree with that. Yes, a soup is a piece. Soup is pieces of solid, and a liquid, same as soup.
Yeah.
Cereal is a soup.
Calling milk broth makes me uncomfortable, though.
Are boneless chicken wings just chicken nuggets in disguise?
Probably. If not something like more foul.
Yeah, that does sound about right.
Not to be too punny, but
yeah. Is a thumb a finger?
Yeah.
That's what I've always thought. I've never thought it wasn't a
It
finger.
serves the same function.
Yeah. If you are at a restaurant and your waiter doesn't come back, are you the waiter?
Depends on how many beers I've had that night.
Because you're waiting. Think about it.
Ooh.
Because you're like, if you're waiting for them to come back, you're technically the waiter.
So I actually have a thing with this too, because my buddy Will worked in fine dining for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I think of it in context of the location as well, whether I call him a server or a waiter. Like Applebee's, that's a waiter.
Yeah.
Chili's, that's a waiter. Like Grange Hall, that's a server. You know, that they're focused on service.
Yeah.
Um,
I've always been up and down on what you call them. Is there something that they would rather be called? Would you rather is calling someone a server more prestigious than a waiter, or is it synonymous? Or
it'd be like calling them like a rapper versus like a hip hop artist.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
just put more respect on the name.
Yeah, and it also tends to do with like the types of food or environment.
True. If you had the option, would you choose to live forever?
Yeah.
Would you rather be extremely short or extremely tall?
Tall.
Would you give up 3 fingers in exchange for $1 million?
3 fingers?
3 fingers for $1 million.
These bitches are gone. I'm trying to think of the next most.
What other
useless
finger
one.
would you get rid of for $1 million?
It'd have to be the least useful. So ring finger on the left hand.
That one's the most useful, or
Least
useless?
useful. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Like what
So
do you?
two pinkies in that one.
I'm right-handed.
Yeah,
This finger's fucked already. We covered that.
yeah.
Not getting married anytime soon, and in general, ring fingers are the most useless one of the
It's
bunch.
true. They really
anyway,
don't do
so.
much of anything.
Plus, like, shit, I could damn near still throw a fastball with this baby.
You could though. Would you rather lose both legs, or both arms, or one of each? That's a tough one.
Man, I'm gonna go with legs.
Really?
Specifically because at Bonnaroo this past weekend, I saw a dude with 2 fake legs,
Yeah,
and he was doing the same shit that all of us were.
that's true. I feel like touch and things is different with your arms, but
Yeah.
legs. Would you rather?
You can't ever slap a booty again if you ain't got no hands.
That's true. I mean, you can hit it with a stub or something. Would you rather be rich and have no friends, or poor but with many friends?
Well, shit, I've been living that dream for a while, buddy. I'm only just now starting to change the game up, so I'm going to go with what I know.
Okay, fair enough. Would you rather live in a hot, sandy desert or the North Pole?
Probably sandy desert, honestly. I love the heat
I
versus
hate
the cold.
Yeah, me too. Would you rather travel 100 years forward or back in time?
Ooh, when was the stock market created?
Shit.
Is that like 1924 or some shit?
It'd be 1922 if you went back 100 years right now.
I don't know.
It was great. It crashed in the
1922.
30s. I want to say in the 1900s it was.
Okay, so
20th
yeah, it
century.
would have been on and popping. Yeah, I'd go back 100 years and invest.
That'd be so sick. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Duck-sized horses?
Or one
I have to
horse-sized
fight
duck?
them?
Yeah. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
I really like horses, and I could give a fuck less about ducks, so I'm going to go a horse-sized duck.
Just kill the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's fair. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
I don't know, probably just enough to annoy it, to make it like run off a cliff unintentionally or something.
Fair enough. Who would win in a fight between a bear and a gorilla?
I think that's going to come down to location. In the woods, like a heavily wooded environment, I think the bear is probably going to, like, he just knows the setting.
Yeah.
If you're like in a jungle, I think,
A gorilla, man.
yeah, probably the gorilla, just because it's like
Makes
not
sense.
all too different. But ultimately, though, I think gorillas are not like innately like,
Mhm.
I'm going to go attack something. Bears, that's what they have to do for their food source, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
I think probably overall I'd give a nudge to a bear.
Okay, fair enough. What's the right way for a dog to wear pants?
The tail has to be poking out,
Because I mean they have 4 legs, so like would it go like around the legs or would it go around just the bottom half?
oh, just the bottom half.
Just the bottom half?
Just
Okay,
up
that's
and
fair.
over with the tail poking out, and hopefully you either have like a diaper on them or a little
Like a little belt.
area where they can piddle paddle.
Fiddle paddle, that's fair. If you could have one we've already done that one. If one superhero was real, which one should it be?
Probably Superman.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Spider-Man or Batman or anything?
I mean,
At least Batman's creating jobs.
Batman is just a old white rich dude, and we've got plenty of those.
It's true. That's really true. Jeff Bezos.
What was the other one you said? Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
I've got bit by a spider before. I'm not worried about that. But Superman,
He's got everything though.
Superman, and he's an extraterrestrial.
Oh,
Like-
he's a straight up alien.
Like, we always forget, like, that motherfucker's not from here. We should be asking him more questions instead of letting him just like
Sure.
ding bullets off his
He's
dick.
one
You know?
really good looking man though.
Yeah.
Say that.
Well, he's not a man. He's not of this
Oh
world.
yeah, that's
you know?
true. He's
Like,
extraterrestrial.
we need to be learning more from him. Like, why can he do the shit that we can't do? And he looks just like us, you know?
It's true. Is life easier when you're good looking?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
'Cause I have not had an easy life. And I figure it's got to
You
be.
got me so off guard with that.
There's got to be something. Shit, man.
Oh my god. Can men ever know what a woman wants?
If they ever fucking tell you,
That's true.
that comes down to communication, yes, and how well you know the person.
Um, let's see here. There's so many topics. It's crazy. Let's see here. Are movies better than books?
Historically, no.
I think movies are way better than books.
You hate to read, though.
That's okay. Well, you got a point.
Well, do you hate to read? I feel like it's not something you seek out to do.
I don't read good, so I don't read a lot. I read really slow.
Yeah.
Like I remember I read the first Harry Potter book. It took me like 4 months. My smart friend, it took him like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't read fast, man. Marvel or DC? You don't even know?
I don't know who falls into what category. I don't know any of that. I just support everybody.
That's fair. Is cake better than ice cream?
I go back and forth on this. I would say no overall, but it really depends on the cake.
Fair. What's the best French fry shape?
Ooh, waffle or crinkle?
Really? You don't like the flat, like Slim Jimmy McDonald's ones?
McDonald's is like very much a guilty pleasure of mine,
Mm-hmm.
but no, I'd have to go crinkle or waffle because who fucking hates Chick-fil-A fries?
I've never met anybody that hates those.
Nope, neither have I. They're always like appropriately salted. They got a little crisp. They're always hot or just warm enough. In crinkle cut fries, this probably shows like how poor I grew up or whatever, but Oreida, the frozen crinkle cut fries.
Dude, I love those Oreadas, man. They're so good.
When Mama bust them bitches out the freezer, I knew he was having a good dinner tonight.
Yes, put those in the oven for like 20 minutes. They come out super crisp moded.
Yeah. Or curly seasoned fries, like Arby's fries. I don't know why everybody hates on Arby's, but their curly fries, next level. I would take that over almost anybody else's fries.
Really?
Yeah.
So favorite fry is who? Fast
favorite?
Food? Favorite fast food fry.
Damn. I should have seen us coming to this. Probably Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A does have really good ones.
And I try not to fuck with Chick-fil-A just because of the bigotry and all that, but
fuck with their religious beliefs. They make good fries.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what they
believe. At the end of the day, the product is sound.
Yeah. Would you rather be a pirate or a ninja?
Pirate.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going for that booty. Sorry, I felt like that was too easy. For that booty. I feel like that was too easy of a layup.
That was okay. That was really.
But
good.
In Pirates, you could be like Big Balls McGraw, and like with a ninja, you got to be like Sneaky Sneaks.
Yeah, that's very true. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
You know what?
I don't know either on that one. That was tough.
I don't understand the science behind it. I don't believe in creationism.
Oh God, no.
I probably believe in some form of the Big Bang Theory, but haven't really like spent a lot of thought on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say like probably like the egg.
If you had to change the drinking age, what would you change it to?
25.
Really? If you had to change the driving age, what would you change it to?
21.
Damn. These motherfuckers be old.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What's the best season?
Fall.
I agree with that, actually.
Yeah. The temperature, the way the world is colored. I'm really big into football, so that's an added bonus. Yeah, there's a lot to like about it. A lot of holidays for like family stuff. A lot of my family's birthdays are in the fall. Mm-hmm. So just a lot of good times.
If you had to pick between missing one eye or missing one of your big teeth, you can't replace them. Which one would you pick? Like one of your front two teeth, missing that, or missing your eye?
Probably gonna go with my eye.
Me too, actually. I think missing a tooth is like people look at your teeth and they're like, whoa.
Yeah, teeth stuff is like like a underlying fear of mine.
Yeah.
Like I have bad dreams. Like I don't ever really remember my dreams, but when I do have like nightmares, like usually it involves me like having my teeth fucked up in some form or fashion.
Yeah. Dude, have you ever had dreams of your nails being pulled out?
Yep.
Me too.
Or things being slid under them.
Ooh, man, I've had those dreams as well. And I've heard those dreams mean something, or like losing teeth,
Yeah.
or like the fingernails. I've heard that's like
Some
there's
kind of
something going on behind the scenes of our heads that I don't.
yeah,
It
some kind
means
of like
something,
some kind of like anxiety trigger or something like that.
right? Is the American accent better than the British accent?
Fuck no.
I think British accents are so much cooler.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Absolutely. You know what'll top it off even more? Australian.
Yeah, those dudes, they almost sound Southern.
Well,
like
I'm talking
from Texas.
the women. Oh my god. I don't even care what she looks like. I just want to talk to an Australian lady
Dude,
all day long.
Australians, man. Sexy accent. Is it okay to ask a genie for infinite wishes? If you got 3 wishes, would you ask for infinite wishes? Is that okay?
I feel like there's some type of disclaimer, like fine print
I
at the
feel like
bottom
you
of
can't
it.
ask for wishes.
Yeah.
It can't be a wish.
Yeah.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
If I had 3 wishes, what would they be? I would wish for my friends and family to all be debt free.
It's a good one.
I would ask for a functioning council of a proper idea of United Nations where leaders actually discuss ideals that benefit the population.
Okay.
And I would wish for a lake house big enough to where, well, a lake house that I don't have to worry about funding, and that's big enough for all my homies to chill whenever they want to.
That'd be such a bet right there. Having a place for all your homies. Like you get out of college and you miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Like at least I have, like just having all your friends at your
Yeah,
disposal.
like around the corner. Or like you could just fucking walk into their door and like, what's up, bitch? I got a beer.
Yeah, I miss those days,
Yeah.
man. You really do. That's why I'm glad I took advantage of it and stayed in college as long as I did.
Yeah.
Is the earth flat?
Fuck no.
Dude, those flat earth people, you're dumb. I'm gonna just be
Yes.
real with you, bro.
There's a comedian that that Will got me hooked on. His name's Dan Cummins, and I swear to God, he's one of the funniest people on the planet right now. And he does this podcast called Time Suck. You can find it on any like podcast platform, whatever. One of his stand-up tours, he actually called it the Flat Earth Tour, and it's basically all he did was rip idiots like the whole time.
Dude, they're so stupid. I'm sorry, but if you think the earth is flat, you're dumb.
Yeah, it's
Are we
nonsensical.
Are we living in a simulation?
You know, I've been stoned enough and watched The Matrix enough times that I think there's some weird possibility that yes, we are. But also, this gets into like some weird trippy stuff that I haven't even like totally worked out in my own head. And I did a podcast a couple months ago with a good friend of mine, Mallory McAdams. Her podcast is called Malfunction. And she actually asked me a similar question. But my thoughts are, I do believe in a soul.
Okay.
I believe there's a start and a finish to a soul.
Right.
How long that is could be thousands of years, whatever.
Right.
And I think in a way, when we talk about like, it's kind of a hodgepodge of a couple different beliefs, I guess. But in a weird way, in a reincarnation style format, like when you die, your soul just gets put into like last one out is the first one up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so that's when they talk about like an old soul. Like I believe that's like a genuine term.
Right. I believe it too, getting older, because you can see people that are like, you're more old school. Like you're younger than me, but you just look like you're old school.
Yeah.
And
it plays into like day-to-day mannerisms, behaviors, things like that, like how they think about things, perspective.
Oh, 100%.
All the stuff that like, because your parents teach you stuff growing up, but they don't teach you how to be your own person.
Yeah.
Like that comes from inside of you.
That was something I thought about today. It's like, do you think it's harder to build a good personality or a good body?
Well, shit, I haven't figured either one out. No, I would like to think, because I mean, I'm even still like doing internal work on myself and my personality, because I haven't been happy with who I was for
But I think you have a good personality.
a lot of years. Well, that's because you're my fucking boy.
True.
And there's just a level of like commitment and loyalty, respect, admiration, like history,
Understanding.
all these things that
Yeah.
go into that. Like, I know I could call you up on any random day on any given bullshit, and you would be like, bet, let's roll, like whatever needs to be done, let's do it, you know?
Yeah.
And I keep a very few close people like that. And I think in the past, honestly, my personality has ran off friends.
Dude, me too. I have people, I don't know about you, but I have people that either really like me or really don't like me. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like one or the other sides. There are like people either really fuck with me or they really don't fuck with me.
Yeah. I would say exactly that. And there's people that fucked with me for a long time that
Don't fuck with you anymore.
if they're sitting on the couch right now, they wouldn't even probably look at me, you know?
That's crazy to think, man.
But I will say my body has never done that to anybody. So maybe,
If anything, it's just made the women in my life extremely happy.
yeah.
What's the perfect amount of time to have sex?
Perfect amount of time? Ooh, I think there's a lot that goes into that.
No, don't think about all the lead up, all the foreplay, like sex.
Just like penetration.
Penetration station, baby.
Start to finish.
Start to finish.
I think with the right partner, you can honestly like get what you need out of like 7 minutes.
I was going to say 10.
Yeah.
I think we're right around there.
I was thinking about 5 to 10. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like 7 minutes and like everyone's satiated and just ready to go and carry on about their day. But like,
yeah.
But I mean, you can have a standard like wallop session for 7 minutes and each get at least some enjoyment out of it. You know?
Something out of it, dude.
It also comes down to like how well you know your partner,
True.
what the vibe is. Like, you know, is it roll over in the morning, 7 minutes, pump and dump?
Yeah.
Is it like you're like fucking 7 beers deep after the pool and 7 minutes would be a dream for you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know, or like, did you wine and dine and already 69?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, but I mean, 7, sure.
7's a good sweet spot.
Yeah.
When did time start?
When did time start? When man invented it.
Did the brain name itself?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird
It is.
to think.
That's what part of what has me fucked up on the simulation question as well. It was like,
do you think we're living in a simulation or a dream? Do you think we've all been asleep and we're just living a dream? Like
and
a
that's
dream
where
we
the
created?
Matrix comes in, dude. We're being farmed right now.
Would you rather be red pilled and know the truth or blue pilled and put in the simulation?
Red.
You'd rather know the truth.
Yeah.
You'd rather live in that Matrix world.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the blue pill. Because what does it all matter?
Blue, you just would never know.
You would just never know. Well, you would just, the truth is what you think.
Your reality is just your reality.
Exactly. So it's like the red pill is a much harsher lifestyle.
Yeah.
Blue pill, you can at least have fun and bullshit and stuff like that.
Well, I'm just curious. I'm a curious person.
Trust me, I want to know the truth, but if it's like that, I don't want to know it.
Yeah.
I think it's too far.
So I would always be curious. You know, like we're sitting here curious about it as it is, and we're just referencing a movie, a kick-ass movie, but a movie.
God, I love that movie.
So there would be some aspect of that even in the blue pill world.
True. Should butter be kept in the fridge?
Depends on if it's like real like butter or if it's like some kind of like salty fucking
Can't believe it's not butter.
Marmalade mix or whatever. In general, yes.
Okay. Can you taste the difference between grass-fed beef and corn-fed beef?
No.
Me either. What's the best topping on pizza?
Pepperoni.
Yeah, you can't ever go wrong with that.
Classic pepperoni pizza.
Is it ever acceptable to eat pizza with a fork or a knife?
If it's shit fucking hot or way too big.
Yeah, see, I'm right there with you. Like if you can't fold it and it's way too hot, fork in it. McDonald's, is it better than Burger King?
Yeah.
How many slices of cake should you cut a cake into if it's a circular cake?
Circular?
Circular cake.
Depends on the party size.
That's a really good answer to that. Are gluten-free diets overhyped?
Not for people with a gluten intolerance.
That's very true. That's very, very true.
My mom and sister are both like crazy fucking allergic to gluten. And I have a couple coworkers and other friends that are. And like literally my sister, sometimes she's so funny. She's 21 and like learning life and all this stuff. It's really fun to watch. But she was like eating something the other day and I was like, doesn't that have gluten in it? She was like, sometimes it's worth it.
Sometimes it's worth shitting your brains out.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last question here. Let's see. I can't. Okay, when you kiss a girl, do you close your eyes or keep them open?
I close them.
I keep mine open. Does that make me a stalker or serial killer or something?
Well, I also try to. I don't know if this is weird. I try to use eye contact as like a big part of like my game in general.
Oh, okay. I
So
think it is a big part.
Yeah. So like if I'm like like literally, what's up, baby? My eye contact isn't going to be at its full use or capacity or like what I'm trying to do with it, you know? So yeah, I just close them.
That's fair.
Also in high school, I had a girlfriend that I kissed that like mentioned to me that it was weird that I was looking at her because I guess I used to.
Dude,
and
I
it was
always
just,
do that. I keep my eyes open. It's weird.
It was just something I had never thought of before
Really?
until that point. I was like 16 years old. And I was like, well, I'm fucking closing them every time. Yeah.
Well, chat, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Me and Colby sat down for probably about a solid 2 hours. It's crazy. Time flies.
Has it been already?
It's been an hour and 45 minutes.
Holy shit. I'm so sorry that I didn't have more funny Pike stories.
Dude, it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to get some clips from this, so don't even worry about it. There's some good stuff in there. But Chad, I appreciate you guys. Thanks everybody that followed. Jelly Karma, thank you. Super Junior followed yesterday. I appreciate you too as well. I'm trying to check the YouTube. I'm not really seeing too much. Either way, it's good to have you guys out. Shout out to my man Colby. Thank you again for coming out, my man. I know it was on short notice. But until next time, you can shake, shiggity, wig, wiggity, big, biggity, bet that. It was good to have you guys out. And until next time, peace, man. My back!
Dude, I'm the worst at coming up with